Hi, Jumberg. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hi, Emir. Thank you for inviting me. I'm pretty good. Thank you. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing well as well. So in this is the second episode of this series, season one, LinkedIn's playbook. I would love to talk to you about your Cognism's LinkedIn structure, how you structured that account, how you're doing it right now, lessons learned. And the second part will be about your reach campaigns. This is really hot right now in the industry. Just like the ads that you run just for the consumption in the feed, how you're measuring the impact of them. And yeah, let's start with the structure of your LinkedIn ads.
Sure. On LinkedIn, since we are running a true demand gen strategy, obviously our main target is to reach as many people as possible to penetrate our all target audience. For this reason, I would say around 65-70% of our campaigns have the reach objective. The 20% of them have the traffic objective for the content campaigns, for the blog campaigns, and around 10% are the remarketing campaigns in which we direct the prospects to the landing page on our website and seek for conversion. But yeah, most of them are focusing on reach because what we came to realize is that reach campaigns are the best way to penetrate the target audience. And for this reason, we are actually trying to not over segment the audience. For us, 50,000 audience or 100,000 audience is not enough. And in most of our campaigns, we have like at least 300, 400,000 people. And the reason for that is that we need to be known for every potential decision maker or individual contributor in the market. And in order to do that, we need to be able to reach these people. And we are using the reach objective on LinkedIn because LinkedIn algorithm is actually working in a bit of funny way. If you are using the conversion objective, for instance, it hampers your reach a lot. Like if your target audience is like 300,000 people, you end up reaching like 10,000 people after a month, even if you spend like $1,000 every day. Or if you use the traffic objective, LinkedIn algorithm is prioritizing the people who will click on your ads more than to reach as many people as possible. Therefore, your frequency gets higher. Obviously your CTR also gets higher. But again, you end up reaching probably like 20% of the people that you want. But in our case, we don't want to get the website clicks. We don't want to get the website conversions. We always want that at some point, but at first we want to reach all of our target audience because we want to educate the audience. We want to be known by every possible person in our target addressable market.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned like the frequency, CTRs, all that stuff. If you're using a reach objective for such a broad audience, how are you like managing the frequency, and what are your best tips on that?
So for frequency is an interesting metric for us. It is both a helpful metric and it is also a bit of metric that we want to beat. And we actually ran a really comprehensive audit about frequency. And on LinkedIn, before coming to frequency, actually, we have 5 different campaigns, 5 different buckets: content, product value, thought leadership, social proof, and demo. The demo as obviously have the conversion objective, and they are the remarketing campaigns. They only serve for a small audience. The content bucket has the traffic objective, and again, the percentage of this campaign is around 15%, 20%, and also those buckets are serving for a limited audience, and we know that, and we are okay with that. But our 3 buckets are the most important buckets for us. One of them is demonstrating the importance of our product. The other is demonstrating how we help our customers. And the other is showing that how good we are and how well we are doing in the thought leadership bucket. Therefore, in each bucket, our objective is different. And once we ran an audit on the historical data and on the pipeline data, we saw that the frequency levels, the best frequency levels are different for each of these buckets. For instance, on the content bucket, we are okay to get like up to 4.5 frequency. In the remarketing, it is actually okay to get up to like 7.5, even 8. It is still okay. But for the product value, social proof, and thought leadership, we are trying to not exceed 3, at most 3.5 in total in every month on the campaign level. And again, the best way to not exceed this frequency is obviously reaching as many people as possible. If your target audience is higher, then the amount that you will have to spend to reach this audience will also be longer. But at some point, if we see that the frequency is going up, obviously what we do is to change the creative, change the content. Therefore, the audience will never get fatigued.
Mm-hmm. How often do you change the creatives on that?
This totally depends on how the campaign is performed. Like, it is not a blueprint. It is not like the Bible. We are not doing anything like, okay, the frequency is about to hit 3, so we need to change all the contents. But we do track the engagement rate, we do track the cost per reach, and we do track the week-on-week changes in all of these metrics. So even if, for instance, in a reach campaign, we see a 4 frequency, but if we still see that the engagement rate is going better, there is no decrease in engagement rate, it means that, okay, the audience is still engaging. It is still okay for us. But in some cases, actually, it is not even about frequency. Like, even in some cases, the frequency could be like 2. Even it could be like 1.5. But if the engagement rate is decreasing for us, okay, the ad is not doing well. But in general, I would say after 3.5, the engagement rate in the rich campaigns starts to decrease. And then, like when we see around 3, I let the demand generation team know that we might need to change the creatives in like 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, so that they don't get to know about these changes in the last minute. So they always have the chance that they can come up with new creatives in 2-week time, 3-week time. And this also makes them to be more creative. This also makes them to be more free, instead of just telling them that, dude, we need to change the ads right now, tomorrow.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, you're targeting a really broad audience. You mentioned like 300,000 people on different campaigns. Yeah, and what is like a targeting strategy look like at Cognism? I know some people, like, for example, Justin, has a really detailed retargeting strategy. He retargets like 15 days, 9 days, 9 days, 180 days, all that stuff. How are you doing that yourself at Cognism?
To be fair, I think it is safe to say that I am one of the few lucky marketeers since I'm working at Cognism, because the product can serve a lot of different personas, a lot of different people, a lot of different industries. My previous company was a technical SEO company, and our target audience was so small, and the amount of companies we could serve was limited. But to be fair, with Cognism, we don't have an industry that is not working. We know that, okay, obviously there are some industries that are not converting as good as some other ones, but there is no industry. There is also no persona. Like when I started the target persona, we had 2 target personas, sales and marketing. Now we have 2 target personas, sales, marketing, RevOps, and CSMs, account managers. Because we saw that actually we can sell our product a lot of people. A lot of people engage with our product. A lot of people actually use our product on daily basis. Account managers use our product for upselling to prevent churn. RevOps people use our product to be able to estimate their target addressable market. Marketers use the product because they want to enrich their CRM. Therefore, again, it is definitely because I am one of the lucky marketers. Like, the product is good and the product can serve a lot of people. But if the product was kind of a niche product, then obviously we would be over-segmenting. We only over-segment in the remarketing campaigns. And we over-segment by the intent there. Like, the campaigns that we are running for the company page visitors on LinkedIn, is different than the campaign we are running for the last 30 days visitors on the website, or the campaign that we are running for the single image viewers or the video viewers by 25% on LinkedIn. On remarketing, we go crazy. We go over segment. But other than that, we try to reach all of the possible audience.
Yeah, and how would you? Right now, you're probably managing a couple millions of dollars per year on your ad accounts. How would you if you have started Cognism today? How would you go with the account setup? What are the main things that you would look for to optimize the account?
I think we should split this by the demand capture and demand creation side. And with the current strategy, we came a long way. But in order to come this way, we needed to understand the pipeline. Because the biggest problem with demand generation is that you cannot see what you are doing, how well you are doing up until it is 4 weeks before, 5 weeks before. And currently, we did create a really solid structure on demand creation and demand capture. But if I start Cognism today, probably the first thing I would check would be the pipeline data, like how well we are doing, what UTMs are bringing revenue, and we know that the UTMs will never be perfect. The attribution will never be perfect. We know that, we embraced it. But still, we cannot deny the fact that also pipeline tells something. And especially on the demand capture side, if I see a trend on Google UTMs, on Google keywords, like, lead generation provider, this was one of the best performing keywords on November. If I see a trend, the first focus would be to follow that trend in order to keep the pipeline going. And meanwhile, I will be checking, how well the demand generation campaigns are doing, and I would do that by looking at the persona. So if we are spending 50% of our marketing budget to the sales persona, then do we end up getting 50% of our pipeline from the sales persona? If not, if we are getting 40% of our pipeline from sales persona, even if we are spending 50% of our marketing budget, it means that something is wrong there, and the sales persona campaigns need to be optimized. Or if the marketing person is getting 10%, but this marketing person is bringing 15% of the pipeline, it means that, we are doing something right in the marketing persona. Therefore, we need to replicate this into sales persona. But it is all about marrying the campaign data and the pipeline data together.
Yeah, that was an awesome overview. And the last part of this was the reach campaigns that you're running. You mentioned that you were spending a big amount of your budget onto those reach campaigns. And if the audience does not know this, you're running 3-minute videos of Alice, the CMO of Cognism, a couple other team members from Cognism talking about something. Even your sales managers, I have seen a couple ads. They're showing how they're using Cognism internally. All that stuff, ads that are meant to be consumed in the feed, not clicking, not checking out pricing, not at all. How are you thinking of those ads, and how are you measuring the effect of those ads?
Starting from the last part, again, we embrace the fact that the attribution will never be perfect. We know that, we embrace it. But now that we will be using hockey stick, hopefully we will get this solved. But up until this point, to be fair, the only North Star metric that we were tracking in the reach campaigns was the engagement rate. Do people engage with our ads? How well they click on that? What the ads are doing? But other than that, to be fair, we don't know anything. The only thing that we can track is the pipeline. If these people end up in the pipeline, and reach campaigns are now popular for a reason. Because when you are on LinkedIn, you are on LinkedIn because you want to be on LinkedIn. You don't want to click to one more ad. You don't want to download one more ebook. You know that how this is going to end. You know that what kind of a website you will see. But Dondun mu sen? Abi yayın gitti.
Koptun evet. Ama bitirmiş miydin o kısmı yoksa?
Yok, bitirmemişim. Nerede koptum ben tam? Başlayalım orayı.
Vallahi bilmiyorum. Sende şey yazıyor mu? Uploading falan filan bir şey yazıyor mu? O kısım gitti mi acaba? Ya da tamamen gitti mi?
%6
İnşallah.
upload diyor. %5 oldu.
Senin yine gidiyor ya. Niye öyle oldu?
Abi ofisin interneti yarrak gibi çünkü. %12 upload, 13 oldu.
Neyse,
14. Tekrar bir Wi-Fi
neyse o
girdim şu
kısmı
an.
ben sorarım. Oradan başlayalım istersen. Tamam olur. Olur.
Şu an olmuş olması lazım komple.
Aynen geldi. O
Tamam.
zaman o
Neredeydim ben?
son istersen baştan en sonun başından, en son sorunun başından o reach campaign'leri falan oradan başlayalım.
Tamam.
Ben
Hakistek'ten
keserim orayı.
başladım. Hakistek'i söyledim. Orada ben bayağı gaza
Aynen.
geldim abi. Gidiyorum şu an. İlham gitti. Bir dakika. Hakistek, impression. Tık tık tık. Okey. Tamam.
Tamam.
Now, rich campaigns are popular for a reason, because everyone actually knows that people are on LinkedIn because they want to be on LinkedIn. They don't want to see one more ad that will land them to another website. They don't want to see one more landing page. They don't want to see one more ebook campaign. They don't want to download one more ebook, or they don't want to register to one more webinar. They just want to be on LinkedIn because they want to consume some qualified content. And the only way to do that is the rich campaigns. And rich campaigns provide the value within the feed. You don't need to leave your app. You don't need to leave your desktop. You just get the feed, get consumed by. You just consume the feed and then move on. But also, it is really hard to track, and it is almost impossible to track. The best North Star metric that we were tracking was the engagement rate, because if people engage with your ad, then it means that it means that your ad is resonating with your target audience. But also you need to make sure that this engagement at some point will bring money. This is the hard part, because you don't totally understand that when you will get the money, or even if you are going to get the money. You might be getting a lot of engagement from the truck transportation industry because maybe they love your content, but if they don't end up in your pipeline, then engagement is nothing. Therefore, when we optimize the reach campaigns, obviously we check the week-on-week engagement rate, but also we at least give these campaigns for a month or for 2 months, and we look at the pipeline data if we see the pipeline. For instance, one interesting thing was the RevOps persona. We started to run these campaigns for RevOps persona on September. And when we look at our Salesforce data, actually we can see the pipeline coming from the RevOps persona like this as we invest more and more. And for us, it was a clear indicator. We start with a small amount of money, like five grand. Then we continued with like 5 grand for 2 months. Then we saw some movement in the pipeline. Then we were like, okay, let's do 10K. Then we saw more movement. Then we were like, okay, let's do 20K. And then we were able to see, as we invest more in RevOps, we were getting more engagement, and these people were ending up in the pipeline. Therefore, it is a mutual thing, engagement, but also pipeline. You need to always consider if your ads actually generate money.
Mm-hmm. And does the sales team at Cognism use this data in their outreach? Like, for example, how we do outreach as we are doing it based on intent data from Clearbit and LinkedIn ads. If a company has been seeing our ads for a while, they're engaging with it, they're entering our website, etc. We didn't use that data in our outreach. Do you have something like that?
Yep. So LinkedIn is basically providing all the impression data, reach data, and we are always sharing this data with the sales team. And we have some internal metrics. So if a company has been showing a engagement rate that is more than X% from a specific department, then it means that they are showing some intent signals. We are also using Bambora with our Cognism prospectors. So we match that data with Bambora, and the sales team approaches the people or the companies that show higher engagement right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much. Lastly, do you have any tips around LinkedIn ads? Any do's, do not?
Attribution will never be perfect, but we can always look at the attribution. We can always track. We can always try to track attribution. The other thing is that no matter what you do, do not listen what your LinkedIn account managers are telling you.
Yeah. For the attribution part, yeah, you're right. I also think that the attribution models, all that stuff, that do not matter so much. Just the things that matter is getting as much data as you can possibly, and then matching that data with your feelings and intent and all that stuff, and then like getting all the pieces of the puzzle and telling a better story rather than first touch and last touch. Yeah.
And one other thing is actually human verified attribution. We edit this in the second part of our demo request form, and the amount of data, the amount of insights we are getting there is amazing. Like, we have been running YouTube campaigns, but when we look at our CRM, we don't see anything from YouTube. But when we check our human verified attribution, we are actually seeing ad of YouTube, and we are seeing that, okay, YouTube is working. So human verified attribution will show you a lot of great insights as well.
Yeah, a new feature that we are building right now is, by the way, ChatGPT. With the ChatGPT integration, we are going to categorize all that form inputs, and then, like, if someone says, "I heard you from YouTube ads," like all that stuff, we will be categorizing them together under YouTube ads, no matter what they said, so that you can get a table. Rather than going one by one.
I mean, we already loved your product and bought the product, so can't wait to see that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emir.